Everything you need to know about how dogs became domesticated. Dogs are a beloved human pet. Our four-legged best friends can come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. They're fluffy, wiry, and hairy, tiny, tubby, and giant, and spotty, flat-faced, and stubby. But how did our lovable present-day dogs become domesticated? When did the graceful and aloof grey wolf become the teeny chihuahua or the wrinkly Shar-Pei? In this video, we'll learn when and where dogs were domesticated and hear some scientific theories about how they became domesticated. Before we get started, please help us out by subscribing to our channel and don't forget to ring that bell to see our frequently posted content. When and where were dogs domesticated? Scientists agree that somewhere between 15,000 and 40,000 years ago, both grey wolves and dogs diverged from an extinct wolf species. However, there is some debate over where this happened. Some genetic studies pinpoint southern China, others say Mongolia, and yet more argue it was Europe. In terms of domestication, which means taming an animal to keep as a pet, some scientists argue this event happened between 20,000 and 40,000 years ago. In one study, a group of scientific researchers sampled DNA from two Neolithic German dog fossils and traced the genetic mutation rate. The dog fossils were 7,000 and 4,700 years old. The researchers concluded that they were very similar genetically to modern European dogs, including those that we now keep as pets. This research suggests that there was probably one domestication event for the fossil Stone Age dogs and present-day pooches. However, other studies argue that dogs could have been domesticated more than once. Another group of scientists analyzed the DNA from the remains of 59 European dogs aged between 3,000 and 14,000 years, and a 4,800-year-old dog that was buried underneath the Irish prehistoric monument Newgrange. When the scientists compared the DNA with that of wolves and modern dogs, their results stated that dogs may have been domesticated in Asia at least 14,000 years ago. Their theory was that lineages of dogs split into East Asian and Western Eurasian dogs. They estimated that this occurred between 14,000 and 16,000 years ago. It's difficult to pinpoint exactly when and where dogs were domesticated, and this is made more difficult by the interbreeding of the two species. Gregor Larson, a researcher from Oxford University, says, "Our ancient DNA evidence, combined with archaeological records of early dogs, suggests that we need to reconsider the number of times dogs were domesticated independently. Maybe the reason why there hasn't yet been a consensus about where dogs were domesticated is because everyone has been a little bit right." How were dogs domesticated? There are two main theories when it comes to how dogs were domesticated. One popular theory is that early hunting and gathering humans captured some wolf pups and kept them as pets. This could have occurred around the same time as the rise of agriculture, which was around 10,000 years ago. The oldest fossils of domesticated dogs are around 14,000 years old, supporting this theory. On the other hand, many studies suggest that domestication happened far earlier than this. Furthermore, some scientists are skeptical that wild wolves could be tamed and reared as pets. After all, they are large carnivores. The second theory is the most likely, and honestly the most dog-like. It's called survival of the friendliest and argues that dogs basically domesticated themselves. The theory is that wolves and dogs are scavengers and would have associated with early humans as a way of getting food. The animals that were the friendliest would have thrived the most. Incredibly, self-domestication shows up physically across only a few generations. For example, a Russian study with foxes showed that when the animals were bred for sociality, there was an unintended consequence of them becoming cuter. Yes, you heard that right. Animals that are bred to be social become cuter to humans. Physical signs of self-domestication in dogs include splotchy coats, curlier tails, and floppy ears. These changes are actively driven by friendliness and seeming more so to humans. Early wolves that were scared of humans or aggressive towards them wouldn't have as much access to food as their friendly peers. Eventually, selection pressure made the friendlier animals look physically different. There is yet more research that theorizes that dogs and humans are both hypersocial animals, and that this behavior could have linked our two species. It seems that dogs really are meant to be our best friends. Well, that's it from us. Thanks for tuning in to learn everything there is to know about how dogs became domesticated. Thanks for watching.
Be sure to subscribe and paw that thumbs up button. Then go ahead and check out some of our other videos or fun activities on our website. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.